Good morning, everyone. This morning we'll tackle about the teaching profession or our topic from prelim to final lesson, okay? And please listen carefully and take some notes of our important details, right? Okay. But first thing we do is we need to have a short description about profession. What is profession, class? When we say profession, it is any type of work that needs special training or a particular skill, often one that is respected because it involves a high level of education. It means it is the undergoing a 4 to 5 years of studies. And for example, education field, it is covered with 4 years, right? But the question is, can we consider a driver, a taxi driver, jeepney driver as their profession? Yes, we can consider those work as a profession, as their profession, because they also undergo a driving lesson of those things, but in different field only, because they're not undergoing a 4 year to 5 years in studies in school, right? But it's still their profession because they undergo special training or have a particular skill in those things, okay? And we have the elements of profession. It is 8. First, we have the initial professional education. From the root words initial, it is the first or the beginning of their professional lives by completing a university program in their chosen fields, like in law school, medical school, engineering school, education school, and so on. And the second one is accreditation university program. It is the where you can get knowledgeable or suitable knowledge to your chosen school, or to your chosen fields rather. Like for example, an education school. If you're taking an education, you must have any suitable or appropriate school or colleges that will be enrolled later. Like for example, I'm taking a education and I enroll in medical school. It is a big difference, right? So it must have a suitable or appropriate school or colleges if you're taking up a college someday. And the third one is skills development. Like for example, you are in education students, and to improve more or to develop more your skills in education, we will undergo OJT or on-job training, or in other term, immersion. It is like a 700 hours yata, but that's the specific, or it's come up with 2 to 3 months of OJT, and that's the time that you can develop more your skills or develop more your capabilities in your chosen field. And we have also a certification and licensing. If you take an board exam, you can get a certification that you already passed the exam, and that's the time that you can get your license. That's the certification / licensing. As what I said a moment ago, if you take a board exam, you can get your certification or your diploma, and not really diploma, certifications that you pass the exam. That's the time that you can get your license, okay? And the fifth one, is the professional development. It is the after you get your license or certifications in education field, that's the time that if you want to have a high salary or to reach in a high person, you need to take master or doctoral degree. Okay? And the sixth is professional organization or societies. It is after you pay the OTR, that's the professional organization societies. And other term is the as the professionals see themselves as a part of a community of like-minded individuals who put their professional standards above the individual self-interest or their employees' self-interest. And the seventh one is the code of ethics. We have different code of ethics in every courses because we need to, as the practitioners, we need to have to behave responsibly and do what is right or what are the suitable doing or practicing or violating the codes of ethics. And the last one is organization certification. In many professionals, not only must individuals be certified, their organization must be certified too. Okay? Those are the 8 elements of profession. And let's proceed to the Philippine educational system. First, we have the pre-Spanish before 1521, and their aim is enculturation. When we say enculturation class, it is the learning inside the community. Excuse me. And also, there was informal and unstructured education at the time. And for ecological, they have broad family, community. Because Filipino men and women at that time know how to read and write using their own native alphabet called Alibata. Alibata was composed of 17 symbols representing the letters, 3 vowels, and 14 consonants. And we have the Spanish 1565 to 1898 propagate or Christianity. It's more on religious class or in a Christianity. And their ecological, it's 1525, Collegians and Biterius. Their problem class at that time was lack of equipment, students are always absent, corporal punishment. And the third one is American regime, it's 1898 to 1930, and their aim was democracy and self-governance. In that time in American class, it is already a free education in public school, and for the primary it is compulsory, and for the secondary it's up to you choose whether to proceed or not to your studies. And their ecological it's American Standard English. And the fourth one is Japanese, love for labor or love for work and dignity for labor. And in that time class in Japanese, in our ecological, it's the banishment create technical vocational hatred because they must focus more on skills, and their administrator in that time was Jose Villarreal. And the fifth one is Republic period. Their aim is EFA or stands for Education for All, fair, equitable, accessible in 7880. And that's the time class that the education is for all. And their ecological is step ed 9155 or BESRA, and they also have a formal education that time. And also let's proceed to new societies, the MPG, Millennium Developmental Goals, and lastly the present education that we are having today. It is the SDG or Sustainable Developmental Goals. And their anthropological is formal education and global education. Plus, in our present education today, we have a depth ed covered by the kindergarten, CHED or Commission Higher Education covered by the elementary, high school, junior and senior high or K12. And their Public Act number 7722. And also for the TESTA, it is the Republic Act number 7796. And we have the rightful colonization, that's DepEd, CHED, and TESTA. In DepEd elementary and CHED in college, and TESTA is more on skills or developing their skills. And let's proceed to the teaching as your vocation, mission, and profession. Teaching is a vocation. It comes from the Latin word vocare, which means to call. Vocation class, it is a strong feeling or suitability for a particular career or occupation. For example, me, my goal is to be an educator someday. So I choose this field because this is my call. That's the reasons. And teaching is a mission. It comes from Latin word missio, which is to send. And like for mission class, it is refers to assigned, allotted, or self-imposed. Like for example, a teacher. And every teacher has its own purpose, objective that they need to accomplish. Every teacher has a own unique mission to accomplish. We are expected to contribute to the betterment of this world in our unique way. And lastly, the teaching as a profession refers to one's occupation, job, or specialty. The term professional, according to Hermogenes B. Popper, PhD, it is one of the most exalted English language, denotating as it does long and arduous years of preparation, a striving for excellence, a dedication to the public interest, and commitment to moral and ethical values. Those are the teaching as a vocation, mission, and profession. Okay, let's proceed to the qualifications for admission to licensure examinations for teachers. And we have the naturalization, reciprocity or exchange students. It is the, like for example, for Asian country, and also the age, good moral character, bachelor's degree, and brief units, 18 units to 6 subjects. 18 units and 6 subjects. We also have the Republic Act 9293, or called as the amendment to certain sections of Republic Act 7836. We have the para teachers. It should be a 70 to 7. No, it should be. Like for example, your score in taking the board exam is 70% to 74.8%. You can teach, but in hazardous areas only. And then they have a special permit and their permit will cover it up 4 years maximum. And we have two type of para teachers, the criterion and norm. When we say criterion class, it is the standard of 75%, or having the score 75%. And the norm, it is the comparing to the other student's score. And we have the special permit valid for 2 years. This is the, like for example, Liga Salonga is wants to be a music teacher or wants to teach in music, so they must have this special permit for expert or international known individuals. And the Fourth one is special permit for experts and international known individual. Those the Lea Salonga, that's the example. And 12 units refresher course for professional who have not practiced their profession. Like for example, you are an HR student and you wanted to teach in cooking. So you must have the 12 units refresher courses for a professional who did not practice for 5 years of their profession, and 6 units for pedagogy or the content, and divided by 2, 6 units for content knowledge, 6 units for pedagogy or 6 units for gen ed, and 6 units for proof ed. And we have this one, the code of ethics for professional teachers, religion and politics, no to immoral acts like smoking in public, drunkenness, gambling, illicit relations, principles of confidentiality, records of the students, the teaching community, criticism against an associate, report the unethical actions of the teacher. It should be a written form and must indicate the name of the person. It should have the evidence as well as your signature. And policies of the school, transfer and promotions, tutorial fees and gifts of favor are not allowed, or it is a big violent of the law. And we have this one, the basis of learners' grades, performance, and halo effect. Halo effect is if the students are good or behave in class, that's not an enough reasons to have them add points or add grade. You can add grade, but in a specific category, for example, in values. Number 2 is teacher-student relationship. Practice professionalism. Wait until the students will graduate. If there is a secret relationship between the students and the teacher, it is not good in making your relationship public, but as much as possible maintain a practice or professionalism, and you can wait until the students will graduate. You can having or pursue your relationship between you. Punishment, corporal punishment, and deduction of grades that not always allowed. And PPST or the new NCBTS. PPST stands for Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers. And there are reasons why it changed from PPST to NCBTS. It's first, we have the K12 reform, second, Asian integration, third, globalization, and fourth, changing character of the 21st century learners. Because whether we like it or not, we need to accept changes, because 21st century generation is more on technological based or tech driven. And then proceed to 7 domains of PPST. And our teacher, Sir Gerald, helped us to more remember this 7 domains of PPST. That is the things that he teach us: content, knowledge, pedagogy, or not only the content or the information that must the teacher deliver to her class or to his class, but also our right values and learning environment. That's the classroom. And diversity of learners, the students. And the curriculum and planning is the curriculum and planning. This is the lesson plan. And lesson plan, you need also have to plan ahead before delivering it to your class. The fifth one is assessment and reporting. And then, the sixth one is community linkages and professional engagement. You need, as a teacher and educators, you need also have the community linkages, or having a seminar outside the campus, that one. And the last one is personal growth and professional development. Okay, let's have a summary. Content, knowledge, and pedagogy, learning environment, diversity of learners, curriculum planning, assessment and reporting, community linkages and professional engagement, and personal growth and professional development. Those are the 7 domains of PPST. PPST stands for Philippine Professional Standard for Teachers. And let's proceed to the career stages of teachers. We have the beginning teachers, profession teachers, highly profession teachers, and distinguished teachers. When we say beginning teacher class, it is the fresh graduate or have they gained the qualifications recognized for entry into teaching profession. They have a strong understanding of subject areas which they are trained in terms of content, knowledge, and pedagogy, because it is their knowledge, it is still fresh because they are fresh graduate. And we have the professional teachers, covers the 2 to 3 years their service. They are independent, consolidated, and focused in teaching. And their application is skills vital to the teaching and learning process. They provide focused teaching programs that meet curriculum and assessment requirements. And the third one is highly professional teachers, covers the 4 to 5 years of their service. Focused in teaching, in-depth learning, sophisticated understanding, and reflection. They manifest an in-depth and sophisticated understanding of teaching and learning process. Teachers work collaboratively with colleges and provide them support and mentoring to enhance their learning and practice. And lastly, the stage 4, there are 4 stages class. Distinguished teachers, highest 6 to 10 years of their service. It is the highest standard for teaching, grounded in global best practices, and to improve their own teaching practices in that of others. And they are recognized as leaders in education, contributors to the profession, and initiators of collaborations and partnership. They create lifelong impact in the lives of colleges and students and others. If you want to seek a professional advancement, you can approach this one, the distinguished teachers. What are the 4 stages of PPST? Beginning teachers, profession teachers, highly professional teachers, and distinguished teachers. Now let's proceed to the article of the 1987 Philippine Constitutions or Acts. First, we have the free public education. Second, types of learning system. Third, optional religious instructions in public schools. Fourth, ownership of education institution. Fifth, number of foreigners at school. Sixth, academic freedom for tertiary. Seventh, highest budgetary allocations from the PAD. Eighth, national language and medium of instructions. And let's proceed to the rights of school based on the Act of 1982. First, we have the rights to provide for statutory basis of the Philippine system. Republic Act 7722 or CHAD, Republic Act 7796 or TESDA, Republic Act 9155 Tax to DepEd, Republic Act 1015 already required the Kindergarten Education Act, Republic Act 10533 Free Tertiary Education Act, Universal Access of Quality Tertiary Education Act of 2017. And we have also the K12 curriculum. What is K12 curriculum? It is the college graduates in their specialized subject in elementary and secondary. Like for example, in junior high there are 4 years, and the Philippines in time of President Ninoy Aquino, he signed that manual that we already have in the Philippines that to add 2 years to our studies or in a senior high school or the K12 curriculum. And for the graduates of technical vocational courses to teach in their specialized subject in secondary or NC2. Now, for example, in the TLE, they offer a cooking, so they got this NC2 certification. But we were focused on the NC2 in the other part of our lesson. Okay, we have a 5 pillars of learning. Learning to know, learning to be, learning to do, learning to live together, learning to transform oneself in society. Learning to know class, it is the acquisition in mind and cognitive, in our mind or cognitive, take note. Learning to be, it is a personality development from yourself or holistic development. Learning to do, it is the vocational and things to discover or another term application. Learning to live together, accepting all people, either their religion, culture, or their status in life. Learning to transform oneself in societies. No to gender discrimination. Integrating sustainable lifestyle for ourselves and others. Being respectful of the earth and live in all its diversity. Promoting your democracy in a society where peace prevails. Those are the 5 pillars for STE of learning. We also have the Philippine Qualifications Framework. This chart here is from Sir Gerald. Thank you for this, sir. Level 1, grade 10, they got an NC1, more on skills. Level 2, grade 12, they got an NC2. You can choose your own strand, either UMS, ABM, TVL, STEM, and so on. Level 3, they got already the NC3 or this is the process. Level 4, the NC4. Level 5, the diploma. They can get this diploma if they finish the baby thesis, or this is the requirement to have this diploma. And the 6th or level 6, this is the bachelor's degree. This is the 4 years in college or 5 years in medical school. And we have the level 7, that is the master's degree. Like for example, in the education class, being an educator, your studies is continuous, and they continue your studies to improve their knowledge or have a better information to teach or to give to the students. And then also being practical, and also in the salary. If you take a master's degree, your salary too is become increased. In the last level, level 8, the doctoral program or an education, it is called of education Doctor of Education. Those are the Philippine Qualifications framework from level 1 to level 8. We have also this one, the Philosophies of Education. And also this is from our teacher in FTC, Sir Gerald. Also this chart. Thank you, sir. Philosophies of Education. We have first the N here stands for nature. And then, to be a whole, you need to have a humanism, or to change your behavior to the right one. You also have the behaviorism. It could be a measured. The objectives here is to improve measure your behavior. And then, we have also the letter P stands for Ivan Pavlov, and CC is classical conditioning, and E here is a environment. In S, it is the Skinner, Skinner. Operant conditioning. There are two reinforcement, positive and negative reinforcement. And the P stands for Bandura. SL, social learning. M for modeling. And ARMM, it is the attention, retention, reproduction, and motivation. Attention. Now, for example, I get your attention right now. So you have your attentions, or you remember those things. Then reproduction, you study a lot and you get a better score. And also motivation, you have your motivation to proceed your different goals or different chosen fields right away. And letter T, it's the Thorndike. It's the C here, it stands for connectionism. And REE stands for law of readiness, law of exercise, and law of effect. And the I here, the fourth, is idealism, or thought that will never change, perennialism, basic essentialism, solve problem, and intermentalism. And also we have 3 R's here: reading, writing, and arithmetic. In the R, it stands for realism, or you can see it in a reality through senses like touch, taste, hearing, and smell. And letter E here, it's the existentialism. It is your own choice to the teacher or the students. It is your own choice to have either the students or the teachers. We also have the P here, stands for pragmatism. That's the use of practice. And also we have the personal development. It is the self-development or personal development. And we have also this one, the U here, stands for, utilitarianism. Share greater persons, or you can share your knowledge or information to others, and that's the utilitarianism. And this, the SR, stands for social reconstructivism. All can learn, or within a society. You can learn by yourself, and also you can learn from others too. That's a social reconstructivism. Okay. Those are the teaching profession coverage from prelim to final lesson. I hope you've learned something, and God bless and stay safe, everyone. Bye!